Hello and welcome to discover more about tomorrow's energies and industries. CCUS, carbon capture, utilization and storage, is one interesting solution for tomorrow. Our first talk gave us a general overview. Today, we will focus on CCUS deployment, and to help understand what is at stake, I am pleased to receive Paula Coussy, CO2 Externalities Project Manager at IFPEN. Hello, Paula.
Hello, Melanie.
Paula, we tend to talk about CCUS as if it is a unique entity, a unique technology. But to the contrary, CCUS refers actually to a group of interdependent technologies. What does that mean for CCUS deployment?
You're right. It should be recalled that there's a tendency to speak of the CCUS in the singular, but it's an abuse of language, and we can make us forget that CCUS refers to several interdependent technologies. CCUS is a technology chain that includes the capture of CO2, its transport in dedicated infrastructures, its use in specific industries, and finally its storage. So we have CCUS technology, and the problem now is to deploy the necessary transport network and storage capacity in a coordinated manner. In other words, we need to link everything together at the same time. So we need to start preparing all the links in the CCUS chain so that the bricks fit together and are ready for the capture CO2 to go to a storage or to be used. In fact, there's a notion of temporality, the availability of transport and storage capacity at the right time. And we have also the notion of CO2 hub, which is an important notion. But not only to reduce costs or to reduce risks, it's necessary to anticipate the development of transport and storage infrastructures. Reserve storage capacity, it's not only a question of cost.
So many things to consider. Can you share with us some keys about how to anticipate?
Yeah, of course. We can anticipate the CCUS deployment by creating scenarios, CCUS scenarios deployment in a region, for example. So for that, we need to take into account different elements of a scenario. For example, the volume of the CO2 we will need to capture, the geo-crossed area we will have to cross, the possible CO2 uses in the vicinity of a CCUS chain or in the future, and the CO2 storage. And apart from any economic optimization, which is a classical assessment, we have also some environmental impacts we are looking to. And in IFPEN, we have developed the life cycle analysis skills internally, so that we are able to look not only at the CO2 emission reductions, but also at the water resources and all the materials we need to use for the CCUS deployment.
And is Europe or France ready to deploy? Can you give us the latest news?
In Europe and in France, it's a quick question. We have participated in the strategy CCUS European project, which the objective is to see how can be the deployment of the CCUS in the European South and Eastern region. And we made some assessment for France in two regions, which are Paris Basin and the Rhone Valley. And we assess industries that will be interested in capturing CO2, transport and storage. And so what we have seen is that the storage capacity, the storage facility, structure a lot the CCUS deployment scenarios.
My last question is a frequently asked question when it comes to CCUS deployment. You guess I want to talk about the cost. Paula, what would be driving the industry to invest?
Yes, you are right. Technically, the CCUS deployment bricks are known, but the problem today is the financing. How can we finance the CCUS deployment in Europe? Of course, we have the EU ETS market, the carbon market in Europe with the CO2 allowances, but the price of these CO2 allowances are not enough to fill the gap of the CCUS deployment. So there's a lot of work to do on this stage in European level, but at international level also. And one key measure that is very important is to deploy the monitoring, the reporting, validation, and to justify the proven greenhouse gas reduction of a technology. This is very important for this project to be recognized at the European level and on the carbon market.
Clearly, a strong impact of politics and regulation. Thank you very much, Paula, for joining us today. Now, CCUS deployment has no more secrets for us. If you enjoy this episode, rendezvous for the next CCUS talk about storage. Stay tuned!